Louis Skipperville has made national headlines as allegations of his inappropriate relationships with young boys in the Lowcountry has surfaced. Here with a legal perspective on the case is Charleston attorney David Aylor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Now, tell me a little bit about, we talk about this constantly, especially with Darkness to Light and organizations like that around the Lowcountry, but right now, parents that have no idea, they think that it couldn't happen to them, it couldn't happen in their neighborhood. From a legal perspective, what's the first thing you should do if you think it's happening? Well,
the first thing you should do is obviously speak to your child, but a lot of times, unfortunately, they're not going to be willing to tell you. There's all kinds of reasons for that. So if you think something may be going on and your child's not telling you, then you should probably bring in, a third party, whether it be the authorities, or some sort of therapist, or perhaps even an attorney. A lot of these people are using attorneys now, and you're seeing the attorneys come in because that confidentiality is there, and that may be what's stopping the person from telling what has happened.
Right. Startling statistics: 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually molested before they're 18 years old, which is insane. If you think about that, your child's class, and that's a lot of kids in that one class that will have to deal with this. And I guess the next question would be, from a legal standpoint, what would a parent do if they don't want to raise any red flags? They're not even sure. And you don't want to accuse someone of something, especially this serious, but at the same time, you don't want to let it lay dormant, and then all of a sudden a big issue arises.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times the parents are almost scared to go there. And then ultimately, if they do find something out later, there's a lot of guilt that comes along with it. So really the most important thing you can do is, if you think that inclination at all, is to have your child talk with someone else.
What happens if you're trying to get it out into the public that this is what's happening, this is what's going on? Maybe should they seek legal advice first? I know you should call the police and everything, but a lot of people, they're worried defamation of character. You don't want something like that to happen. But if you know it happened for a fact, that's not defamation. It happened.
Absolutely. But the attorney, what a lot of times they can do is they serve a buffer for you. Buffer in between, for instance, the media as well as the police. They can be the one that, carries you down to the police station, or your child, and really tries to protect that child in regards to confidentiality. People don't want their names in the newspaper, on televisions, as victims. They don't want that attention to their family. So what you can have with the legal counsel is help through the criminal process, but also protection for the child. And ultimately, there's a civil side to a lot of these cases as well.
And with such serious allegations, you would never want someone to turn your words or twist your words around, because what your child is telling you, if it's true, you want that to get out, and you want other people to know so that it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Absolutely. There's a protection side of it. It's not just protection for your child. Maybe unfortunately they've been part of a horrific incident that occurred, but there's other children that these people could also affect, and that's what you're really trying to stop as well.
And I can imagine that an attorney might be able to also help the parents, because when they're so close to it, anger a lot of times can get you into some trouble. Maybe do something you shouldn't do, say something you shouldn't say. Whereas an attorney might be able to help us out with something like that.
Absolutely. With the emotional, just reaction that would come as a whole for a parent. There's a lot of things that may happen that you would later regret. The attorney can really serve as someone that also kind of counsels them.
Right. I don't have children. I know you have a child, David, and I can imagine how angry a parent might be. And then it's one of those things where you don't want to end up in jail yourself for something that you've done, when you really just want to catch the person that's responsible.
Absolutely. You just have to really try to put it in the right forum. If someone's done this, you want to go through the authorities. You want to go to the where this person was working and really look at who should be responsible for, these actions that have happened. Because, like you said, it's extremely scary.
There you go. All right. Well, he's David Aylor. Thank you so very much for being with us.
Thanks
we really do
me.
Appreciate it. Next Tuesday, he'll be back. All right. We're talking the top tech gifts for the techie in your life with none other than America's favorite self-proclaimed geek. That is Urkel. He's coming up next. Stay with us.